Hello and welcome back to Green Money Momentum, where we talk about market movements, making money, and money momentum. And today we're going to be talking all about quantum computing, and more specifically D-Wave Quantum, ticker symbol QBTS. And tomorrow, D-Wave Quantum is going to be announcing their earnings in the pre-market. And today, the day before that earnings announcement, we saw a lot of elevated volatility around D-Wave Quantum, including some halting and manipulation. So the stock was not tradable for a short period of time today, and then also a big, massive uptick towards the upside. And so I'm going to be doing my technical and fundamental analysis of this stock. But before I do, I want to say, as always, that this is not financial advice. I always recommend doing your own due diligence before making any financial decisions. So we're first going to start here by talking about what we saw in today's movements. And so right around this level here, it's so funny. I was going to make a financial video about QBTS this morning because I was frustrated when we saw the halting and manipulation right around this point. So the pre-market, it was up, it went down, then this stock was untradeable, and this is frustrating. If you've been in the market long enough, if you've ever seen one of your plays get halted, this really sucks, and the only people this benefits are the short sellers typically. And so if you see a play get halted, it's probably because there's a lot of short selling and the shorts don't want to see this play rise. Regardless, what is funny, like I say, financial videos move so quick. Right when I was just about to get recording, I had everything set up. It stopped being halted and manipulated, and maybe this is why they had it halted, and that is because we saw a massive uptick. We saw D-Wave Quantum go all the way up to $6.20. So we saw a 15% gain in D-Wave, and then we did see some cool off, but regardless, that is a pretty big uptick for D-Wave. When we look at a kind of a farther technical analysis, when we zoom out on D-Wave, we could see that this is just a continued trend on where we're at. And so if you know the history with quantum computing, right at this level where we see D-Wave at its highest, this was where basically the whole quantum computing sector was at its highest and at its hottest. Everything was gaining a lot of value, jumping up every single day, massive gains. And then the NVIDIA CEO came out. He had some bearish news. He said that he didn't, or had a bearish take, I should say. He said that he didn't necessarily believe in quantum in the short term. And he said that quantum could take decades until we see any actual utility behind it. And because of that, D-Wave, as well as so many other quantum computing stocks, took a big hit. Now, what is positive about D-Wave is we did find this support level, and that was right around the $4 range. We did see D-Wave bounce back up, and now we are in this sideways channel for D-Wave. And so right now, just on a short-term analysis of D-Wave, what is positive is we are trading above the 200-day moving average. We could see that on the MACD, we went from very overbought to a little oversold, and then right now on the RSI, we are in the middle. And so tomorrow we do have earnings for D-Wave. Let's see what we could expect with that. So this is a article talking about QBTS and what to expect for tomorrow. And the revenue expectation is for them to have a adjusted loss per share. They are expected to have a loss of 6 cents per share and a revenue of 2.23 million. And so when we look at D-Wave's history, we look at their earnings history, we could see that the 2.23 million is right on par with how they have been doing with revenue. And then with earnings per share, this is actually better than we saw in the last quarters. So for quarter 3 of 2024, we saw a negative 11 cents. And so if D-Wave comes out with a positive, with a better earnings per share than that negative 11, which again is -6, that is a positive. And so with quantum, just know that if you are investing into these quantum computing stocks, whether it be D-Wave or any other quantum computing stock, that these are very volatile and they really could shoot either way. And so when we do look at the revenue and the earnings per share with D-Wave, we could see that they aren't great. And for a company in the stock market to only be getting $2 million of revenue, that is pretty low, especially when we compare it to a lot of other companies where we're seeing hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue each quarter, or even in the billions if you talk about the craziest stocks. So to have a $2 million dollar revenue. Not really the best, but that may be because with quantum, we are truly investing into the future. And so with quantum computing, it does cost a lot of money. You know, you got to spend money to make money. Quantum computing is super expensive, and these companies are having to do a lot of investment into quantum. But what is positive about D-Wave Quantum, if you don't know, D-Wave does work with a lot of massive corporations. So this isn't just a gimmick, but these guys here at D-Wave are working with a lot of big companies. We see Volkswagen, we see NASA, and the biggest one of them all, we see Google. And so you better bet with D-Wave and their commercial applications that they are growing in intrinsic value. And if all these other companies want to use them, NVIDIA, IBM, Google, all these other companies are wanting to use quantum, you better bet that there is a lot of utility behind quantum. Again, this isn't just a gimmick. We see other ones here. We see the University of Space Research, Toyota, again, Volkswagen, and a couple others here. Also, another thing to note with going into earnings tomorrow is that D-Wave has a significant high short interest. Again, what may have contributed to the halting today. The shorts may not want to see this stock run. We could see that they have a short interest of 21. This is crazy. This is a very high short interest tomorrow. I point this out just to show that there are a lot of shorts in QBTS. A normal short interest to see would maybe be between 3 and 7%. Even 7% could be considered high. But when you see 21%, that is a pretty crazy short interest right there. And so going into tomorrow, many investors may be looking for a squeeze potentially in D-Wave. And now look, we're getting even more elevated volatility right now. We're going even up right now. That's pretty cool while I'm making this video. But investors may be looking for the squeeze in quantum. I want to say that there is a possibility, especially with all the elevated volatility that we've seen today, and then with also all the short interest. But I do want to encourage investors to remember also that this is all speculation, and if you are investing into QBTS, especially going into these earnings, you need to be prepared for movements either way. This could just be the pumping for a big dump, especially with how the markets have been reacting to everything lately. So the markets have been super red, as we know. There's been a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And so just don't be caught off guard if we do see a drop in D-Wave Quantum. Again, we are in this sideways trend. Let me pull it back up D-Wave. So we are in the sideways trend right here. And so there is a possibility that we do break under the trend. But I want investors to be prepared for anything, especially again, because we saw this stock get halted. If you've been in the markets long enough, you know how much halting can stop a play from really running to its true potential. Again, this mostly helps the short sellers, and we do have a big short interest in QBTS. So there could be a quantum squeeze. We could see some positive price movements, but don't be naive to how ugly and how evil these manipulations can be and what short sellers will do to get their way. But I would love to hear what everyone else has to say about QBTS in the comments section below. So please drop a comment, please leave a like, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Thank you all so much and have a great day.